Please have a seat. And like I said, what a pleasure it is to sit down with you again, President Marcos. It's an opportunity, as always, to talk about just the incredible ties and connections between Canada and the Philippines. Next year, we're celebrating 75 years of diplomatic relations, and we'll be celebrating. But the reality is, the trade ties, the economic ties between our countries continue to grow. The opportunities for investment, the flow of people back and forth as well is incredibly strong. The Filipino-Canadian diaspora is incredibly important to all of us, and they're vibrant and contributing tremendous amounts to our country, and through a range of things, particularly on small businesses, which is why I'm pleased to have the first Filipino-Canadian Minister of Small Businesses recently, Richie Valdez. So lots of reasons for us to be incredibly positive in our relations, but lots more to do together, and I really look forward to it. C'est un grand plaisir de m'asseoir avec le président Marcos des Philippines, une chance de parler de la force de la diaspora au Canada, mais surtout de la taille de l'économie et du travail que nous allons faire ensemble pour créer plus d'opportunités pour nos citoyens. C'est toujours un grand plaisir de te voir.
Thank you, Mr. Panes. Yes, it is very good to see you again and to discuss all of these issues that are really still in the process of evolution. The relationship between Canada and the Philippines grows, and beyond that, between Canada and ASEAN and the region. And this is, again, a rather new development, and which we in the region find a rather prescient move on the part of Canada. Well, again, we cannot have discussions without mentioning the diaspora, the Philippine diaspora to Canada. And I noted during our Independence Day, all of these celebrations that were being held officially by local governments around Canada for the Philippine, as a celebration of Philippine culture, a celebration of Philippine independence, well, really is indicative of how well they have assimilated themselves into your workplaces and into your society. And for that, that is something that we need to continue and to develop us. It is perhaps the way of the world today. There was an attitude in the very beginning where Filipino workers abroad only worked abroad because they had no chance to. It was a move that was forced upon them. But we have changed our attitude, and it's you must accept that this is the way the world works now. It is the people exchange labor forces across different regions. We, of course, have been rather a more peripatetic race than most. We find ourselves in some of the most unusual and unexpected places. But Canada has become very much a desired destination for many of our workers, and the many families that have grown up in Canada have always are unanimous in their praise for the way that the Canadian society has been open and warm and hospitable to them. And we would like to return the favor, and we would like very much to promote this increased relations between our two countries. I believe that, again, your shift in terms of outlook towards Asia-Pacific, Indo-Pacific now, is significant and shows really where the economies, how the economies are evolving. Again, the partnerships have become so important. And I hope that I cannot see. I need not hope because I am very optimistic about the future, and I cannot see any obstacles to a continuing and deepening relations between our two countries.
Well, you talk about the way of the world. I was in a wonderful celebration for Filipino independence, a big street parade. It was so much fun. But the thing that is perhaps different than many other places where the Filipino community is strong around the world is they're full Canadians as well as being proud Filipinos, and being able to be Canadian and Filipino and have no contradiction between that, and still keep all the ties to the old country, all the connections, all the pride and identity, and have that added to all of Canada is a wonderful thing.
Well, I think I have a little story that will validate that. Is that I was in Vancouver a while back with some Filipino friends, and we were just talking, and they said, "Oh, we have this friend, we have that friend." Oh, and so you're a group, you're a Filipino, you're Chinese, He says, no, we're Canadian. So that I think is just goes to show how deep that relation is, and how much appreciated it is by our Filipino nationals to be in Canada. Now with beyond the people-to-people relationship, there is so many developments going on, as we have discussed before, that really require the attention of everyone.
We'll dig into those as soon as we say bye to our friends.